Hey there, everyone. My name is Nolan Gustine Priest, and you're watching Old Paradigm. This is a kind of a little going further with the introductory 2, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call this one yet. This could be Introductory 3. Um, so to recap on my last video where I spoke of veganism as the all-encompassing philosophy that brings that coalescence and that reconciliation between all of the opposing forces. Well, I want to go a bit further and talk about how veganism is, rather than adversarial to the military system, it is the inviting and involvement of everyone in a way that we fight by necessity rather than offend by necessity, as we have kind of been taught. And I don't mean offend as in like get offended by ideas or terminology or another person's existence. I mean that offending by that if you do see somebody else existing, you think you have the right to trespass them and to do any sacrificial and deplorable acts that you think are okay. Veganism to me and in relation to the military is all about universal patriotism, and this is the idea that rather than have us a patriotism of our nationality, of our state, of our any other localized consciousness existence, is that we have a universal, a cosmetic. Well, rather than focus on the cosmetic, we focus on the cosmos and an exploratory conscience where we are conscientious about our relationships to all, as relationships are true wealth. And so, like, talking about like our state of being, if you're willing to go explore the world and pilgrimage as you desire, and trade with people as we are meant to, and live, learn, and love, whereas we kind of do that today, yet the local cuisine is often that of tidied up corpses. You're saying that, hey, as Leo Tolstoy puts it, as long as there are slaughterhouses, and I'll add that as long as there are folks that are dressing up the wounds that they are causing on others and serving them to you, that we will have battlefields. And that is because there is no forces of animation, of co-creation, of this existence that are meant to be subservient and enslaved variants of the very same essence, which is all involving, revolving, and evolving. So yeah, if we were to be going around the world, adventuring and throughout the space, and as it eventually shall happen, then if we were all coming from a vegan consciousness and we were able to, solve all the problems that we could by, rather than feeding all this grain and other stuff to other animals and then feeding those to folks, which then swells up their organs and their bellies, while on the other side of the country, like say Africa, as we have all been kind of made aware of, whether it's through grimy commercials or just through actual knowledge, where their bellies blowed up from starvation, and it's not the same bloating here, where like we have that fat Buddha, which is supposed to mean prosperity, yet like how can one be fat and prosperous? Like you cannot sustain that for very long, and that's why we have you see celebrities who totally change their physique and change their ways. Like one I seen recently was Action Bronson. He used to be quite a heavy-set guy and go around the world eating food and imbibing in the cultures as is everybody's desire. And yet now one of his main desires is to never get back to that again, and at least the weight and the unhealthiness he was at, because he realizes that it's unfathomable to do that. And here's where I'll kind of go away from him, and where I will say it's unfathomable is to think that because of the luxury of taste that is eventually going to tax you again, it is worth dominating and depicting others as less valuable, as so you may satiate your desires, which are sexual in nature, whereas to make these animals what we are making them, you have to rape them, artificially inseminate them, and have them reproduce as you control them to. And as within so without, if we were doing that to another population, well, it only goes to show what's being done to our collective. And that's kind of a known thing. The story of Yakub the eugenicist is a great one if you can find it out there. I'll see if I can maybe post it in the description below, where this man had a 7,000 year reign, or 6,000 year reign, excuse me, over mankind, and he gets to do whatever he wants, kind of like some Epstein shit, where I'm gonna make the master race. I'm gonna have my rape island where I impregnate folks with my seed and make them the ultimate whatever he was going for. And like, to wrap this tangent up, if we were to have that kind of same view of sexual honor, and to bring forth the ultimate souls that we can through melding ours together in the dance of love that is sex, and marriage of ourselves first, then we could really make use of the divine union between us and the mundane, and all activities and all respects of life. And yeah, I'll go into that in the next video. Self-marriage. Gratitude.